These are 15 CNC tools I actually use, and all of them are under $20. And this little gem right here is a huge time saver. All of these tools are practical tools that I use on a daily basis after 12 years of running a CNC. Some save you time, some save you money, and some are, quite frankly, just really cool. Let's go. These 15 tools are going to be organized in 3 separate stages: before, during, and after your project is cut out. So the first thing that I use under $20 before my project ever actually goes on my CNC is this blue beauty right here, Aura Mask. Now, Aura Mask is a stencil paper that you put on projects that you're going to put some type of paint on, and it keeps paint from bleeding. And so right here on this clock project, you can see how with versus without Aura Mask, we have a pretty big difference in the bleed out. And so if you're painting a project on signs, clocks, etc., lay down this Aura Mask, stick it down really tight, your CNC bit will cut through it, and it's going to save you a ton of time painting. I don't use it on every project, but when I do, I absolutely love it. The next tool is something I use every single day for a variety of reasons, and it is a simple brush pack. Now, this brush pack, you can get a 6-pack of them for $3 from Harbor Freight. And they typically come with stainless steel, nylon, and brass. Now, each of these brushes I use for a different thing. And so this brass brush right here, I actually use to clean off my collets and collet nuts. And so simply take that brass brush, shine it up, and this is going to keep your nuts and collets very clean. The next one is the stainless steel brush that comes in the pack. And I have a couple different versions that I've tried over the years. This is the extremely cheap version. This one cost $1 or $2 more. You can still get it from Harbor Freight. And this little dilly-dally right here is super nice, like a little mohawk, right? I use this to clean up projects. And so I'll go in there on a sign or an inlay and get in there with this little brush and clean up all the little fuzzies. And this nylon one, at night and right away in the morning, I put a little toothpaste on it and get after it with my teeth. And it is also good to clean up fuzzies on projects. So get you that 3-pack, keep them on hand, buy a couple of them. You're gonna love them for cleaning your collets and your projects. The next tool is going to keep your collets and bits looking brand new, and that is blade and bit pitch remover. I particularly use this one in my industrial shop. All you do is simply spray it on your bit or your collet, rub it with that brass brush I talked about, and it's going to clean it right up. But I will say, be careful using this one because you will need gloves. It is very acidic and will burn you. Now, there's some other good options for maintenance out there as well. Simple Green CMT has a good bit and pitch remover, and I know a subscriber named Luca. Luca actually puts all of his bits and collets in WD-40, and that's where he stores them. That keeps them clean, keeps them shiny, and keeps them from rusting like all the bits that I fail to do proper maintenance on. So I'm a better coach than a player when talking about bit maintenance, but if you want to keep your bits, collets nice and clean, definitely grab this under $20 and will save you those expensive bits. And the last thing I reach for before my project setup that is under $20 is a caliper. Notice I said under $20. You do not need a very expensive caliper on a wooden CNC, right? Unless you're doing metal on a metal mill, then you can get the really expensive ones. Just get a cheap caliper. And a little pro tip I use a ton is I get a retractable reel and I actually mount it to the wall or onto different tools, and the caliper cannot get lost and it stays attached. This saves me a ton of time, and because they're not too expensive, I can buy a couple of them, have them laying around, and have that one on the reel, and I promise you, it's going to do wonders for you. Now, let's move on to tools I use during the project setup that are under $20. The next tool I reach for a lot more than I'd like to admit is this T-handled hex key set from Harbor Freight. Now, these in particular have a nice little handle on them, so whenever you're angry, you can really get after it, because I reach for this whenever I lose an Allen wrench or a random nut or bolt needs to get tightened or something needs to get fixed on a CNC. I have both standard and metric because I use both, because quite frankly, I don't know if the thing is metric or standard on all of my CNCs that I use. So definitely keep this handy. You'll like the handle. It's gonna save you a ton as well. And plus, they're relatively inexpensive as well. Cool? Cool. Now let's move on to tools that you'll use during your CNC setup. And that first tool is simply some tape, but two kinds of tape in particular. The first kind of tape is going to be simple masking tape. Now, I use this a ton whenever I mark the centers of my project or just need to write stuff without really messing up some type of high quality wood or some type of project. So I'll just simply put this on my project, put my origin on there, put some pencil marks, and it doesn't ruin this nice, beautiful wood. The second one is going to be double-sided tape. Now this is X-Fasten double-sided tape, and I use this a variety of ways on my projects as well. So all you simply have to do is take the tape, put it on the back of your project, roll it out, remove that film, and if you're anything like me, it won't do it all in one satisfying touch. It'll take two little pulls that'll kind of make you angry. But whenever it's done, you'll have a project like this, and you simply stick it to your CNC, and it is pretty stuck. But it can pop off. So be sure that you're understanding how to use it with your CNC. Don't fully trust it, but you can trust it enough to hold down some light projects. I like to use this in combination with clamps to make sure my project does not move and everything is nice and secure. So, double-sided tape and regular masking tape are two under 20 things that you'll grab for during your CNC setup time and time again. The next tool is going to be a twofer. Now what I mean by that is you're going to need two different things for this whole process to work. And the first one is an assorted box of screws. Now why I say that is if you don't get an assorted box of screws now, whether it's from Home Depot, Harbor Freight, Amazon, you'll end up with something like this, which is just an assortment of screws you randomly find in your shop and put on your CNC to hold down different projects. You do not want that. This is my dad's. Yeah. So what I recommend is getting one set of cabinet screws. Now, I like these screws because they have a washer-like head, and so you can go and screw into the spoil board and actually hook your project and actually screw it down that way, or it just holds better and it makes sure you don't go too deep. Cool? The next screw I recommend is a little tiny wood screw or an assortment of wood screws. These are my wood screws in the cap of a paint can lid. Once again, get you a dang organizer. It's going to save you a ton of time, and get those cabinet screws and assortment of wood screws to hold down your random CNC projects when you need it. And when you need it, you'll never have the right length screw, trust me. And whenever you grab that random screw, it may have a Phillips head, a Torx head, a square head, and that's where this next tool comes in handy. Now you may have seen these a lot. This is a caliper, not a caliper, a carabiner. This is a carabiner that has a whole bunch of little holders for your different tools. So definitely pick up one of these. I think they're like $5 on Amazon. Have a whole bunch of them. I have one of these in my desk, in my truck, on my wall, and probably 10 of them laying around our shop that my employees constantly lose. But this is going to save you a ton of time because whenever you're looking for that screw and looking for a bit or a drill bit, it is all right here on the keychain, and it hangs up nicely right over here on the wall. So that is a twofer, two tools under $20 that you can use during your CNC setup. Now, on to the next one. The next one is going to be CA glue. Now I reach for this during my CNC setup because I personally like to patch some of the knots that I think that bit is going to go through before the bit goes through it. And so CA glue works pretty simple. You just put it in a knot or a split, spray some accelerator on it, sand it right off, and that board is looking good as new. The other thing you can use CA glue for that I personally do not is like a double-sided tape. And so what you do, you take masking tape, you put it on your project, put it on your CNC, put a little bit of CA glue on there, spray it, stick your boards together, and voila, you created your very own double-sided tape. You just had to use 3 different things instead of 1. So for me, I like sticking with that double-sided tape I just talked about earlier and using my CA glue to repair the cracks and splits in my boards. Now we're moving on to tools that you'll use once your project is cut out and you take it off your CNC. So the first thing that I reach for that's right at $20 or a little bit over 20, depending on when you grab it, are these handy sanding sticks. Now this particular pack has 5 different colors, which symbolizes 5 different grits. Now it comes with all of these sticks right here and these little belts that go right along with it. And how this pretty much works is this little belt is going to be able to move on this sanding stick just like this, and it's going to allow you to get in all those tight places that you can't normally reach. So instead of using a random piece of sandpaper, you now have dedicated sanding sticks that can get in all those tight areas, whether you need it a little bit rounded for those juice grooves or for those rounded corners from that bowl and tray bit, or you need some tight corners on those signs and 3D carvings. So definitely check out these sanding sticks. These are new to my tool arsenal, but I absolutely love using them, and it does come with all these replacement belts. Pretty cool, definite must-have if you're new to CNC. The next one is an air nozzle. Obviously, you're gonna be using an air nozzle in your shop. Every good shop has it, but in particular for CNC, I would suggest using this one. Now, this one has a rubber tip on it. And why that rubber tip is important is because it doesn't leave a mark like these metal tips do. And you would say, well, Ryan, why do air hoses leave a mark in the first place? Well, whenever I do different projects and I have a ton of fuzzies in there, I can take this air nozzle, get in real deep and blow out a ton of different fuzzies on my different sign projects and also my HDPE projects. And so if you need to clean out fuzzies, I highly recommend an air nozzle with rubber tips. This is the one that we have in my industrial shop, and it holds up really well. I will have a link for this one in the description because it's awesome. This one is my second favorite. Nice little handle on it, but nothing special. The next tool is going to be literally anything sharp, whether it is chisels, a razor blade, a scalpel, and yes, some people do use a scalpel. If you're seriously into inlays, you'll be using a scalpel to get all those details, or simply a nice little pocket knife. Now, as far as chisels go, people are gonna crucify me for this in the woodworking realm. I get all mine from Harbor Freight. One, I have a lot of employees and they love to tear up stuff, so I get the cheapest chisels possible. But two, I personally tear up stuff, and so I get some chisels, and when they get dull, I throw them away and I don't have to have a chisel sharpener. But you'll use this a ton, cleaning up different projects, whether it's with that razor blade, chisels, a good knife, and like I said, some people swear by using scalpels on their CNC projects. So just make sure you have something sharp, pick it up cheap, don't spend a ton of money because you're gonna try to ding them up, or if you're me, you will ding them up. This next tool is something I hated 5 years ago, but now I absolutely love, and that is sanding sponges. Now in the last 10 years, I believe sanding sponges have came a long ways, because when I first used them, they deteriorated really fast and weren't worth anything. But now, they are getting better and better. And so my favorite are these from Surf Prep. I think they're called rad pads, and they come in a couple different grits. You have a medium, a super fine, which is a yellow, and a fine, which is a blue. I prefer the blue when cleaning up my projects. I prefer the yellow when I'm doing finish work on my projects, kind of scuffing off that first coat of paint. And I prefer the medium to get really big and hard fuzzies. I use this one the least, this one the next least, and I use the blue one the most. So if you want to pick up a little box of these, they are super helpful. They don't come apart, they don't deteriorate, and they save your fingertips whenever you're really trying to get in there. And so if you need nice rounded corners, definitely get you some sanding pads. I have come to really enjoy using these as opposed to just a sheet of sandpaper where it's messing up my fingers and not doing that good of a job. So, Surf Prep rad pads for the win, and you can get them under 20 bucks. This next tool is really a hack that I have been using for years in my industrial shop and in my hobby shop, and that is drawer liner. And so, drawer liner is the most underutilized thing in any shop. So a lot of people use carpet, different things. I love to use drawer liner. I spread it out on my table whenever I'm working on projects, sanding down projects, and just when I want to keep things just a little bit elevated. What's cool about the drawer liner that is different than other things is that whenever you get little tiny like splinters coming off your wood, it falls in between these gaps. So whenever you're sanding a project on there or putting in screws or anything, it's going to trap it and it's not going to actually touch your project. And if you drop a screw or something like that, it won't roll off. Drawer liner is super cheap. You can find it at Walmart. It's really cheap on Amazon. Comes in a whole bunch of different colors, so you can customize it to your shop. And I highly advise getting a roll. It's going to last you years. It's super cheap, and it's going to save you a ton of scratch marks on your projects and a ton of lost screws. You'll absolutely love it. The last one is going to be sanding brushes. Now, these come in both cloth with some sandpaper on them and nylon. Both are pretty much the same, and there's some good things and some bad things about them. First off, the good. You can use them to clear up fuzzies over a large area or over less detailed areas. So think wavy flags, utensils, bowls and trays, stuff like that. And they do a dang good job of that. Where they fall short is whenever they have to do detail work. Think of like really intricate signs or really intricate 3D carvings, right? They don't work so well for that. But all you pretty much have to do is stick it in your drill and go like this on your project. I do not recommend high. Bad things happen. Keep it in low, keep it nice and slow, and it's going to clean up your projects really well. I do see myself reaching for this on more 3D type projects than I do, let's say, signs. That's when I'll use those sanding sponges that I talked about earlier. Another note, I don't use the high grit very often. I like to stick more to the lower grits. So on the nylon brush, I like the 180 grit. I don't really use the 600 grit. It's a little too soft, kind of like a toothbrush. And as far as this felt backing goes, I like the 120 grit the most, all the way up to the 180 grit. So these are the two things. And one little side note right here, if you get these sanding ones right here, that felt backing has a little bit of black on it. So whenever you put it on your project for the first time, it's going to leave some black soot. So put it on a piece of scrap wood, use it first, and then you can use it on your project. Yeah, sucked whenever I figured that out. So there is 15 tools under $20 that I actually use on my CNC. I hope you left this video with more knowledge than when you started. And as always, guys, remember, if you ain't cutting it close, you ain't cutting it right.